Joel chapter 2 verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. HALALYAM la YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM QADASH. That belongeth unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of the millstone that rule well and taught us this truth of the Spirit. Double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of the millstone that rule well and taught us this truth of the Spirit. To the Akim, my fellow laborers, pushing the word out in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the Akim, YAHAWAH, listening and learning, being doers of the word and abiding in the faith. And to the speckled birds scattered abroad that look like the other nations but are truly Yasharala to the Spirit. Shalom wa barakatam. This is your brother Arya, and I want to come at you with two dreams that my rib had. Okay, one of them was recent. This one's dealing with the famine of the word and persecution, and the second one is from maybe like a year or two ago now, when she was first coming into the truth, or she wasn't really in the truth yet. Okay, and it's going into pretty much like 11th hour Israelites, brothers call them, right? So this first dream, all right, I'll start off by reading Amos chapter 8 verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahawashi, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of HALALYAM. Okay, so brothers talk about it all the time. Famine of the word is going to come upon the world, where you're not going to be able to get these videos, to get, to see the brothers out on the highways and hedges soon. It's going to come a time where, you're not going to find this truth as easily as you can find it now. A quick, easy Google search for the breakdowns and things like that. Yeah, you might still see these agents out here, clout chasing and marching and things like that, maybe. Them insincere Israelites, trying to throw people off and just garner money and attention and stuff. But you're not gonna see the sincere prophets. You'll see false prophets, pastor pork chop, all that, but you're not gonna see the sincere prophets out there giving you the 100% truth like they are now. Okay, and that's starting with the apostles and elders on down of Great Millstone. So going into this dream, my rib, so she said she had a dream that I was on social media. I was going through my social media and I was changing my bio. My bio is pretty much, a bio is pretty much your about section, okay? Where you can, give a brief introduction about yourself, whatever. So I was going through social media, changing my bio. It was because something had happened where the government was looking for men of GMS specifically. Okay, she said I was changing my bios because of something that happened where the government was specifically looking for men of Great Millstone. So for example, I was like, the way I perceive it was like, if CIA or FBA agents are scrolling through YouTube, they're gonna look for the prophets or the Israelite men with GMS in their name. Okay, like if I was GMS Arya, then I went on my YouTube and I took off the GMS and just had Arya there. Where if you just click on one of my videos and you hear me say double honors unto the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, then that gives it away right there. But at least if they were scrolling through YouTube and just looking at that, they would pass over me. Okay? Now, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. If that's something that we shouldn't do, when the time comes. I'm already not affiliated with Great Millstone, okay? I humble myself into the doctrine of 144% truth, okay? And we acknowledge that, all right? Giving double honors unto the apostles and elders, but I just want to, I want to put it out there that, is that wisdom, or is that, being, I guess, cowardly, or, trying to hide? Because there's been examples like, because I think about King David, how he pretended to be pretty much mentally retarded, letting drool run down his beard because they were looking for him after he escaped from King Saul, right? I think about how Abraham, our forefather Abraham, lied and said, oh, this is my sister, not my wife, so then they wouldn't kill him for her, but the Lord had it where he protected them both and they didn't touch neither of them. The Lord was always with our King David and protected him as well. Yeah, so I the way I see it is like, I would think that's wisdom, to keep yourself safe in the times to come. But if that's not what you're supposed to do, you're just supposed to stand boldly, then BAHASHAM, correct me on that, So that's just what I perceive myself to have been doing. If there was anything that said GMS in my bio or in my titles or anything, and I took it off so that it would throw them off my trail, I perceive that as, hey, that's using wisdom to protect yourself. So, what else did she say? She said we were in a bigger house. Our furniture didn't look the same. Everything looked overall different. It was around evening time outside, and she said she just remembers feeling kind of worried, and I was telling her I didn't want to private my videos, but the most I would do is make sure that I didn't have GMS specifically in my video titles or bios. Okay, so I didn't want to hide my videos, because what I'm saying in my videos, I give it away anyway, right? So I didn't want to private them outright and just disappear off the internet to protect myself, but I wanted to remove anything that indicated that I'm even affiliated in any way, learning or anything from GMS, again, to throw them off my trail, to protect myself. Okay, I said the most I would do is make sure that I didn't have GMS specifically in my video titles or bios. So yeah, okay, and I said something like, I knew it'd be about that time soon anyways, but I'm gonna try and keep them up as long as possible. So going into Amos 8 and 11, so in the dream I said I knew it was about that time, it'd be about that time soon anyway. So that's clearly speaking about famine of the word time for the word to not be as freely accessible as it's been up until this point, right? So in the dream I'm like, yeah, it's about that time now anyway, but I'm gonna try to keep them up as long as possible. That must be referring to my videos, Wow, yeah, because they would go, these on YouTube, they're already doing that. They go and they target your channels to try to get your videos taken down and all that. Even a brother with like 2 subscribers barely get 5 views of video. They'll come after you and take it down, call it hate speech, all types of medical misinformation. They still doing that. They always been doing that, you know. So I'm pretty much doing whatever I can to try to keep my videos up as long as possible, so that they don't target my channel and take down my videos. Because hey, this information, and it's not about me, it's about the truth, man. This truth is valuable. Why do you think the scriptures speak about how a man's going to be more precious than fine gold, you know? How they shall wander. Hey, well, that's the next verse, Amos 8 and 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east they shall run to and fro to seek the word of HALALYAM, and shall not find it. Right. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. See? This shit crazy. It's going to be so valuable. People are going to be running around looking for the prophets that were standing on the street corners previously, but now they're gone. Just to give you a bit of a visualization, like, it's going to be crazy. They're going to be looking for you, the man of the Lord that was out there diligently preaching the word, calling our people to repentance through the spirit of power of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. So what I was doing, I was trying to keep my videos safe from getting taken down, because best believe YouTube's gonna crack down and get all brothers' channels taken off the map, off the website, wipe it clean. Okay? Hey, that's gonna be crazy, man. That's gonna be crazy. Damn. All right, well, let me keep reading. And I was kind of thinking out. She said I was kind of thinking out loud, as in me, not her. I was thinking out loud, like, what if I put anti-camp Twitter light to throw them off? And I feel like that was kind of a half joke, but people on Twitter and Instagram, there'd be some Israelites that literally put anti-camps, no camps, that type of shit in their bios and titles and stuff. They literally be saying that, like, for real, and they're not joking. Because there's some Jakes and Eves especially that be against camps, like, oh, I'm anti-camp doctrine. Like, come on now, Yahawashi had a camp. Okay, there ain't no camp doctrine. It's just the truth. All right, you individualites is confused, man, and y'all going off. Okay, so I was like, what if I put that in my bio to throw them off? And that would definitely, like, they'll be like, oh, this nigga don't know what he's talking about. We don't have to worry about him. Hey, man, that's gonna be crazy. That's crazy. I feel like that was a half joke, but hey, that could be kind of wise. So, like, hey, they definitely not gonna come after my channel. I'm talking about anti-camp, but then when you actually click on the videos, then hey, it's the truth, you know. And hey, brothers will just know, hey, well, that's just a little disguise. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still thinking out loud. Okay. That's just something that I be doing. It's like, yeah, I don't mean to ramble, but yeah. She said she wanted, she said she wanted to laugh, but she thinks we were both just in too serious of a mood. Yeah, like, you know, we gonna be joking, and that day too, you know, we gonna be joking, trying to laugh through the pain a lot of times. You know, it's gonna be serious, but we're gonna be like, you know, we gotta get through it. So that's a pretty realistic dream. That's pretty realistic. She said that's all I can remember happening. It was really dark outside too, and all the lights were off besides the TV. So that was the first dream. And yeah, man, that's crazy. That's family of the word type shit, for real. You know, we gotta be ready for that. And hey, again, correct me if I'm wrong, BAHASHAM. Salaki if I'm going off, but hey, it might be wise to do whatever you can to keep them off your trail, to keep yourself safe. Hey, whenever the prophets were, persecuted, they would flee from one city to the next. We would be pilgrims on the earth. We'd always be on the move, So, hey, it's whatever YAHAWASHI has for us when the time comes. So, there's that. I think I'll get what did I want? I think I wanted John chapter 15 verse 20, right? Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than HALALYAM, the Lord. The servant is not greater than the Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Okay? So for Yahawashai's name's sake, we will be persecuted. Okay, we will be silenced, or they'll attempt to silence us, But it's all for Yahawashai's namesake, for the testimony of Yahawashi, the spirit of prophecy. These things are going to happen. So we got to be ready for it. And we got to understand that, hey, it's all the Lord's will. But He's going to get us through it all. He's going to deliver us from all the trouble, all the tribulation that we're going to go through, that we may find ourselves in. We don't have nothing to worry about. Okay. So let's move on to the next dream. The next dream, this was again from a while ago, around when she was first coming into the truth, maybe I don't know how long ago now, but it was a while ago. And this dream made me remember the other dream that I just told you reminded me of this dream that I'm about to tell you. Okay, so pretty much she was in it was like a fantasy type setting. I say fantasy because she said it was a castle in a cave. Okay, I remember her saying cave, but I also remember her saying castle. She told me it was like a castle or something when I asked her about it again to refresh my memory on it. So it was like a castle in a cave. People was wearing robes, right? She was wearing robes like ancient robes, all that, whatever, and she was confronted by some Edomite lady, and I don't remember if she said anything, but the Edomite lady pretty much overpowered her, I guess, and pulled her. She didn't beat her up or anything, but she pretty much just pulled her robes off, and it uncovered her nakedness. She was naked. Everyone was naked underneath their robes, I'm assuming, if it was like an ancient type thing. So she was thinking damn, why is this Edomite bitch so strong? It was like an old, ugly ass. Okay, I'm inserting ugly ass. But she said it was just an old Edomite woman. And she was like, damn, why is this Edomite woman so strong? So she was naked, and she ended up running away from her. And she went to go find me. So she was avoiding everyone. No one saw her. And she was hiding behind a pillar looking at me, because she saw that she said there was other people around or something, but no one, the attention wasn't on her or anything like that. No one saw her. It was just that there were people around, I guess, background characters. So she saw me while she was hiding behind the pillar or whatever, and I was talking or teaching, right? I was teaching some dude, right? I think she said it was a light-skinned dude, might have been speckled bird, whatever. She couldn't tell what he was by looking at him, but it was some dude on the ground. He pretty much just had a loincloth, I guess. He wasn't clothed fully either. He just had a loincloth on, covering his private part. And he was on the ground. He was kind of like he got knocked down or something. He was laying on the ground, and I was standing up, and she said I looked like I was the king of the castle. Okay, I looked like I had. It was not like how they depict these ancient kings, these Edomite kings, with like a crown and all that. But I had. She specifically said I was wearing like a robe with like a kingly cape, coat or something. I was wearing a green robe or cape or something with like dark purple underneath, and I think it was, I had like pants on, not just robes like all these other people. She said it was like green and dark purple, and I just looked like a king. I just looked like I was the king, and I was talking to this guy, and as I was talking to him, I perceive it as me teaching him the word, which is why I preface this dream as going into 11th hour Israelites. So I perceive it as I was teaching him the word. Here's the thing. As I was talking to him, as I was speaking to him, he would gain out of nowhere, quote unquote magically, right? He would gain one more piece of clothing at a time. So he was getting dressed, and he was like kind of sitting up. She said by the end of it, he was fully clothed, and he was sitting up like on his knees, and he was just staring at me. She said he was smiling, right? It's crazy. Oh, as for her, she said that she was still hiding behind the pillar because she didn't want nobody to see her, obviously. But I saw her. We like made eye contact or something. I saw her, and either she came out when I saw her up to me, and she was like, "Yeah, I need some clothes," or I called her up, and then she was like, "Hey, I need some clothes." Obviously, I saw that, and I was like, she said that I looked not worried or anything, but I was annoyed. I looked like I was annoyed. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Because in real life, obviously, if she, if we were like in different places and then she come back naked, I'm gonna be distraught. Like, Lord knows I'd go out of my mind. But in the dream, I was just like casually annoyed, and I had thrown some robes on her. I was like, "Here, cover yourself up." Like, I just threw some robes on her, and she covered up, and she was good. And I told her, like, go somewhere or something like that. I told her where to go, pretty much. Okay, so that's what happened to her. She said, I asked her, like, did the dude look at you or anything? And I remember she said, like, nah, she didn't even need to worry about anybody looking at her or anything like that. I think the dude might have looked back and looked at her, but he was just looking at her face, like making eye contact, and the dude was just like a normal dude, just smiling normally. And then he was more focused on me. He turned back, and he was focused on me. He was getting clothed, as I was speaking to him. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the whole dream. I called her, I threw some robes on her. I was kind of annoyed with whatever she was doing. And I told her, "Hey, here you go, cover yourself up, go." And then I continued talking to the guy. And then by the end of the dream, he was fully covered up, fully clothed, and he was kneeling, like sitting upright, rather than kind of leaned back like he was beat up or something, or he got knocked down or fell or whatever, So I perceive that, my understanding, my interpretation of the dream is, being YAHAWADAH, being a man of the Lord, I'm teaching a brother the truth, And as he is learning the word, he's getting clothed. His shame is being covered. Through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, his shame is being covered. And I'm teaching him the truth. He's like an 11th hour Israelite. Because it seems like it's the time that we're in. Whatever time that we're in, he's getting taught the word. I just immediately related it to, it's probably around the time of Jacob's trouble. It maybe not, maybe just in general, but now that I think about it more, it may be just in general and not specifically relating to Jacob's trouble. But yeah, you never know. Well, there will be 11th hour Israelites though. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. It's going to be an innumerable multitude. All types of, it's going to be, the elect is not 1/3 of all Israelite, of the large number of Israelites in America, in Babylon the Great, in this land right now. That's not a small number by any means. Compared to 2/3 of our people, that's small. But in general, if you look at how Israel is as the sand of the sea, that's a lot. That's still a lot of Israelites. So yeah, that there will be a lot of Israelites coming into the truth later on as well. But yeah, the dream may not specifically be in the time of Jacob's trouble. Now that I think about it more, but pretty much yeah. Salakia for rambling. He was getting clothed. His shame was being covered as he was learning the word and understanding the truth. And me being dressed like a king, as a man of the Lord, YAHAWADAH, I'm a part of that number. Hey, that's power too. That's power. Okay. And then as for her, I'm like, because at the time, especially, I was thinking like, I'm telling you about this truth. I'm teaching you all this, and I'm reading these scriptures to you. It really don't seem like you're taking it seriously. I feel like you're letting this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding go to waste. So it's like, hey, well, you go and do your own thing. You're going to be uncovered, man. You're going to be naked out here. That's why I thought about Jacob's trouble. I'm like, hey, in that time, then you will be prey. You will be able to just get duped, be tricked, have your shame and nakedness uncovered. You're just going to be done out here because you don't have no hedge of protection. I felt like she wasn't really with it. Which that, of course, that's not up to me. It's not like, yeah, I'm teaching you this, you need to take my word for it and all that. No, it's Yahweh that gave it the increase. And the YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, he did. But at the time, I was especially feeling jaded, because, of course, I was still learning a lot too. So yeah, that's how I perceived it. It's like, hey, well, your nakedness will be uncovered. And then when she came to me, her, especially being a woman too, I'm like, ain't much required of you. You just need to humble yourself unto your man, your husband. And all I had to do, I just threw robes at her, and she was covered again. And I'm like, hey, you good, go. Or whatever, right? She didn't need to sit down naked and then get articles of clothing one by one like that brother I was teaching did. She just had to humble herself unto me. Just come to me, humble down, listen, boom, you good. That's how I perceive it. I'm like, that's why I was annoyed. I was just annoyed. I wasn't stressed out. I wasn't like, damn, what happened? It's like, no, I already know. Here you go, you good. So I'm like, hey, that's pretty much all I gotta say on that, I think. The YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. So those are the two dreams that my rib had. Hey, the Lord's gonna give us these dreams. He might not give it to you as a brother specifically. He might give it to your woman. He might give it to your kids. Brothers have even their 4-year-old child has had dreams and all that. So it's crazy. the YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI. And we're going to see more of these visions and these dreams and get more understanding on things. So it's going to be interesting, to see how things will play out. So, hey, once again, the YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI. So, hey, with that, I pray the lesson was edifying, exhorting, and uplifting to the spirit and power of YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI. The YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI, QADASH bestowed upon me to bring out this lesson and push forth this word. Hey, keep pushing, keep praying, keep fasting, keep enduring, keep striving for the truth unto death. And YAHAWAH and YAHAWASHI shall fight for thee and keep abiding in the faith. DTA Abababal, Kwame Sharalas, stay strong, we're almost home. Soon. Alright. Shalom wa barakyam lahabachayar. Peace and blessings unto the elect. Yahawadah is our part of that number. And blessings, honor, glory, and power be unto Yahawadah wa YAHAWASHI. Shalom.